Alright guys, I'm back. Coming out of physical therapy. So we're going to lift off. We're talking about, the kind of the leverage of how my femur got broke. Like I said, it was, my body weight on one side of the curb, his body weight falling onto my leg on the other side of the curb, and that's all she wrote. It snapped it about 3 inches above the knee on my left leg. Now, strangely, I knew something was wrong right away. I thought that I had broken my knee because I reached down. It felt like pressure. It didn't really hurt. It just felt like pressure. And it felt like pressure in my knee, actually, not really in my thigh. And I reached down and I could feel that my knee wasn't where it belonged. It was a couple inches down. My thigh did feel strangely shorter than expected, but I didn't really know what to expect of the broken knee. So like I said, I thought my knee was broken or dislocated. I drug myself free. The other couple of big customers kind of held the guy down in place, and the cops came and took the kid away, and the ambulance came, and that's when it hurt. When they brought the backboard over to put me on it, and they rolled me over onto the backboard, the pain was, well, I think I probably invented some new curse words, because current curse word technology didn't really suit what I was feeling. It didn't match. So I started feeling like I was going to pass out, and they still hadn't loaded me in the ambulance. Once they had me loaded onto the backboard and strapped down, the pain wasn't so bad. It kind of hurt. So there was still pressure on the brake. They were like, okay, well, we're going to give you a little something to ease the pain. Since like I said, I started to feel like I was going to pass out. I still wasn't in a great deal of pain. The pain of them rolling me over had passed. And, I said, you're not going to be able to get a vein with a needle, because I've had chemotherapy, which that's a whole nother thing for me to get to. My adventure with my having cancer about, it's got to be 15 years ago now. So that's a whole nother vlog. Anyway, so they're like, okay, not a problem. We can deal with that. They take the needle off the end of the syringe, and they put this thing that almost kind of looked like, you ever see like the custom made earbud headphones that kind of go into the ear canal, and they're kind of mushroom shaped on the end to seal your ear shut? Well, they put something that pretty much looked like that onto the end of the syringe, and they said, okay, we're going to stick this in your nose. I'm going to cut through here just because it's a little more interesting. I've always wanted to check out the back of this shopping center anyway. So they're like, okay, we can deal with this. They're like, we're going to stick this in your nose. On the count of 3, inhale hard through your nose. And I'm like, okay, this will be interesting. And 1, 2, 3, I inhaled, and they shot it up one nostril, and 1, 2, 3, I inhaled, and they shot it up the other. And the good thing is that it works, it's like doing coke. It gets into your bloodstream fast. So it got in, within a couple seconds, I felt better. Not completely better, but I didn't feel like I was going to pass out anymore. So that's a bonus. And then they picked me up and loaded me into the ambulance, and that wasn't particularly fun. And well, that'll be fun once I get my skills down on the bike a little more. So they load me in the ambulance, and that kind of sucked. Getting jostled around, but it wasn't the end of the world pain. You know, luckily for me, the hospital is, hell, as the crow flies, the hospital from where I got hurt might be a half-mile away. And on the road, I think when I got the ambulance bill, it said it was 0.8 miles. So 0.8 miles to the hospital. They take me in the emergency room. At this point, I'm laying there and I'm joking around, and you know, all things considered, I'm having a good old time. And you know, so they're thinking it's just a dislocated knee too. My wife's like, no, I'm pretty sure that's broken. His leg was never shaped like that before. And you know, so they x-ray it. It was funny because I've always worn like shitty, just like Gap jeans. And I got tired of it. I wanted jeans that didn't sag in the ass and make me look like I shit my pants after wearing them for more than an hour or two. And I wanted jeans that weren't super stiff and uncomfortable. So, you know, I spent the money and I bought a pair of, and I know, you know, some people make fun of me for it because I'm not really that guy, but I bought a pair of Armani jeans. And they were awesome. They have a little bit of stretch to them, so they were comfy, like wearing sweatpants almost. Anyway, so I had just gotten these, and they were like $100 pants. And I told them, I'm like, do not cut these pants off. I'm like, is there any way to get these off of me without cutting them off? And they're like, well, no, not really. I'm like, I don't care. Find a way. I'm like, I can take the pain. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'll suck it up. Let's do it. They're like, okay, your funeral. And they wiggled them down off me gently, and it actually was no big deal, and it saved my $100 jeans, which is great because I still wear them for work. You know, they're just a lot more comfy. I don't really care about the style. I don't really care. You know, I just don't want to look like I crap my pants, and I want my pants to be comfortable. So anyway, yeah, they saved my jeans. I'm riding around with the turn signal on again. Of course, now I turn it off, I just gotta turn it back on. So I get in the hospital and they're like, okay, well, we're gonna knock you out so we can straighten it. They give me something to knock me out. I come to and my leg's straight and it's in this kind of wrapped up sort of Velcro on cast thing. And you know, I'm not really feeling much of any pain. I'm, as they say, feeling no pain, because they got me on, I believe it was Dilaudid. I think that's how you say it, which is essentially kind of a form of morphine. You know, and so I'm like, okay, this is awesome. What is the, you know, next step in my recovery here? You know, I'm like, I know I'm gonna have to have an operation, obviously. You know, I figured probably the next day, which of course it was the next day. They take me up to my room, and I'm I don't know, not shy, not private, but I like to be alone kind of guy. So I was bumming because I'm like, oh, you know, I'm in a lot of pain here, and I'm really upset. And I'm going to get stuck in a hospital room, and I know I'm going to get stuck with somebody that's peeing the bed all night or moaning in pain, which, you know, I feel for them, but the last thing I want to do is be stuck suffering trying to sleep when my leg is in pain because the guy next to me is in so much pain. But luckily, as they're wheeling me through, I'm getting a whole different vibe from this hospital because it's almost like a hotel. The floors were carpeted, the walls were painted like a nice, I think they were brown on the bottom and dark blue on the top, I think. And it wasn't just a plain white ceiling hospital. I was like, okay, well, this is a pretty nice place. And they opened the door to my room, and it's a single occupancy room. I can't even tell you how happy I was. I was like, okay, this is baller. So I'm in there, and they got me on a lot of drugs, but I still, you know, one of my first orders of business was to say to them, hey, where's the remote for the television? And I found it, and I was like, oh, cool, HBO and all this, and I think I probably fell asleep within 2 minutes. I don't remember them leaving the room, so I was probably asleep before they were completely out of the room. And next morning I wake up, and you know, I can't have any breakfast or anything to drink because they're taking me right to surgery. I go to surgery, I meet my doctor, he's cool as hell. I come out of the surgery and, you know, my leg's in a thing, and I'm once again not in any pain because I'm loaded up on Dilaudid, and I have a, you know, self-serve Dilaudid machine, the little button you can press, and it's timed that every time the button turns green, you can press it and get another dose. I kept up on that pretty good. I knew, I'm like, well, if I stay on top of the pain and stay on top of the medication, there won't be so much pain. And there really wasn't. Alright, so I'm back on the road here, finally. Hopefully I remembered to edit out that long pause sitting there doing nothing. If I don't, well, sorry. So, like I said, I'm in the hospital bed. I fall asleep, I wake up the next morning after surgery. And I pretty much, you know, I just stayed on the meds and I slept a lot. One thing I do remember, the night after the surgery, like it was as soon as I got back from the surgery, I had to pee so bad. Like when I woke up in recovery, I was like, my eyes were yellow, I had to pee so bad. And for whatever reason, they didn't have me on a catheter, which, hey, I was glad not to be on a catheter. If I can, you know, if I can go a day without a tube being shoved into my penis, then that's a good day to me. And, you know, again, some people might be into that. If that's your thing, great. I'm not. So, anyway, so I really had to pee. We get back to my room, they wheel me in, and I proceed to immediately kick everybody out of the room. And they're like, well, what's going on? I'm like, I really, really, really have to pee. And they're like, the nurse is like, well, let me help you with that. And I'm like, I don't want your help, you know? And, you know, so I had to kind of force the issue to get everybody to leave so I could pee. And it wasn't a big deal. I just, you know, kind of straddled the bed and the chair and, you know, hung over into the little bottle. And I went through that a couple more times, and it just seemed that every time after lights out that I would have to pee, it never failed. When I would, you know, get myself into position to pee, a nurse would walk in to check on me. And I don't think it was just because I was setting off any alarms. I think it was just dumb luck that that's when they were coming in. But anyway, so, you know, I got out of the hospital a couple days later, and here I am now. It's been about a little over, I don't know, it's been about 4 months. So, you know, here I am with my healing up leg. Got my DRZ. I'm out riding. Life is as good as it can be for this kind of a situation. So, yeah, it's about that. So I will talk to you guys later, man. See ya.